Hi everyone, it's Miss Rebecca. Today we're going to create an illustration of elf feet with two little gifts. It's super cute. Let's do it. First we're going to start at the top of the paper, find the top and find the middle. We're going to divide your paper in half by drawing a vertical line that goes from the top of your paper to the bottom of your paper. You don't have to be perfect for this. If you want to fold your paper, you can though. Now we're going to draw two slanted diagonal lines. One is on the left side of your paper, and it's almost going to the bottom, and the other is on the right side of your paper, and it's almost to the bottom. Now try to make both sides the same. Now we're going to start the elf boots. So starting at the bottom of those diagonal lines, we're going to draw a curve or a curl. It's like you're drawing a circle, except the circle doesn't close. And we're going to match on the other side so that they're the same on both sides, or they're symmetrical. Now starting at the top of that curl, draw a curve. The curve should touch the side of your paper and end at the bottom of your paper. So start at the top, curve to touch the side, and then end at the bottom of your paper. A nice wide curve. And they should be the same on both sides. Now we're going to start the elf skirt. So start at the top of your paper, and what we're drawing is a large V, the letter V, just like that. And we're going to do that again, another large letter V, or just diagonal lines that point downwards, or zigzag if you want to think of it like that. Do the sides. The sides might stick off a little bit, that's okay. So I'm just continuing this little skirt with a zigzag line. And that's the skirt right there. Okay. Now we're going to use a circle about the size of a nickel or a quarter. And on the tip of each arrow shape, we're going to create these little circles. So just go around and around with your pencil, and we're adding circles to the tips of these boots. And there you have it. Okay, for the top of the boot, just draw a horizontal line that goes across the two legs. And then for the leggings, we're going to draw an arrow that points upwards, or a diagonal line that goes upwards. Try to make the length and the width the same on both sides. So you want the stripes to be even. You want them to be the same as well on both sides. Symmetrical. So I'm just going to continue until I get to the top. Almost there. Now I like to add this little triangle that points up on the bottom of the boots to make it look like there's little heels on these boots. Now for the two gifts, you're just going to create a diagonal line. We're making a little box, and the box is on its side. So you're just making that rectangular shape and then giving it a little bit of pizzazz by adding a little plus sign inside the rectangle and a circle with some ovals for the bow on the top. That's all that is. And we're making that same rectangular shape, but it's on a slant, so it's on a diagonal. You can zhuzh it up by adding a little plus sign here and a circle on the top with 2 oval shapes for a bow. All right, now it's time to erase, so find a nice eraser, and I'm gonna lay this down flat. And I'm just gonna clean it up a bit. I'm erasing what I have to erase. And I'm just fixing any little mistakes that I might see. So take your time to do that with your eraser and brush off any eraser shavings that you might have. Now I'm going to start with my oil pastel, or you could do crayons to do the top of the skirt. So I'm going to fill in the whole skirt, but first I like to outline what I'm doing. So I outline and then I do my fill-in. So I'm just filling it in, and I have sped this up quite a bit so you can see the finished result. And I'm making sure that it's not scratchy or sloppy. I try to stay in the lines and fill it in nice and solid with my crayon. So take your time to do the skirt. Okay, and I used a lime green or a light green for that top skirt. Okay, now for all the circles, I want you to find the circles and color them all in with yellow. So anywhere you see a circle, there's 2 circles on the shoes, right? And there's 2 circles on the little bows here. So I just colored all the circles in yellow to keep it simple. Now take your red, and we're going to start the leggings. And I feel like I should outline it first. So I'm just going to trace over all my diagonal lines with the red before I start to fill in the pattern. Okay, and I added a little arrow there. Now I'm just going to start my red and white striped pattern. So I'll start at the top and I'll go downwards from there. And I'm going to start with just one side or one leg, so that way I know the pattern will be correct. So it goes red, white, red, white. And I'm very solid. I'm staying in the lines. And I'm making sure to skip a space between every red stripe so that the pattern stays red, white, red, white. Okay. And now we're going to switch to the other side. And this time, you can just match the exact same thing that you did on one side to the opposite side. So I'm continuing my red and white pattern. Until I get to the top. Almost there. Okay, looking good. Now pick 2 colors, any 2 colors for the gifts. I'm just going to use orange because that's what I have. I'm going to fill in the whole rectangle with this orange, but again, you could use yellow, you could use green, it could be any color you like. So I'm filling in my whole orange box here. And then I think I'll make this one royal blue. So I'm outlining it first and then filling in the whole square with blue. I'm very careful to go around the foot. Okay, looking great. Now, we're going to take black and outline the boots with black. So I'm just outlining right on top of the pencil, carefully following the pencil line as I outline around the boot. There's one, and here is the other. And next I'm going to outline the bow and the little plus sign that's on the gifts. Perfect. Looking good. Now, find a white crayon. This is a little tricky. The trick is that if you put little white dots onto your paper, you might not see the white dots right now, but when we switch to paint, you'll be able to see the white dots right through the paint. So that's going to be your little snow in the background. So hopefully your white looks a little better than mine. Now we're switching to your watercolor paint. Put a lot of water inside the blue. You need a lot of water. And then you can paint all that background, all that negative space in the background with your blue watercolor paint. And what you'll notice is the white pops right through the watercolor. So you can paint right on top of the background. I'm going to do both sides with my blue. Add a lot of water to your blue. All I'm doing is filling in the background. And you'll see the white pops right through. And it looks like little snowflakes. Okay. Now if there's any little spaces you missed, you could just go ahead and fill them in with the blue before we do the shoes. Okay, now you can pick any color for your shoes. I'm gonna pick the green right here in my watercolor set. So I'm gonna fill in all of the shoes with this dark green watercolor. Now, of course, you could also color this like with a crayon or whatever you might have at home, but I like to mix crayon, oil pastel, and watercolors. I think they all look really nice together. So I'm making this dark green, filling in the whole boot, and we're almost there. It's looking really nice. I'd love to see what you guys did. Don't forget to post on Google Classroom.